I think actually
flip flop.
no.
God. Hey everyone, welcome back to another awesome episode of Strictly Casual. Today we are going to be reviewing none other than the awesome Wandavision. The show just ended, it just wrapped, and now we're going to give you our insight scoop, what's going on here after the show is over. We've experienced everything about it. Now we're very excited to get into it. We hope you guys enjoy. Leave a like, it helps us. Subscribe if you haven't, and we hope you enjoy Wandavision in living color.
First, we're going to go through our initial impressions. We're going to do a round. James, what did you think of WandaVision as a whole?
I'm gonna keep it short with you, Vim.
Please do.
At best, I think it's pretty good. At worst, I think it's fine. Long story short, I think Marvel played it safe.
Okay.
Guys, okay. I'm just going to say that like my expectations were low going into it. And so I think my expectations were met. And so I'm not like disappointed by this, but I'm not overly enthusiastic by this either.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna agree with James when they said they played it safe, because I think the ending did seem safe, but then again, a lot of us fans conspirized, and I think this was the most fun I've had with a Marvel project. I had more fun with the process versus watching it, and that's all I can ask for when it comes to Marvel.
I would say, did it expand the world of Marvel? I think yes. Did we get something original that was different? I think yes. Was there something that felt like maybe there was an overpromise there? I would say yes.
Yeah.
But did I have fun, like he's saying, like writers talking about? I think yes. That's all I could ever ask for. If this is the standard that Marvel is going to set for Disney Plus TV, then I'm all in for it.
First off, we'll go through what we loved / liked or enjoyed about the show. So basically for WandaVision, what I think I really liked is that it did not rely on cameos to tell the story it was trying to tell. I know that I said that in an earlier episode, but at the same time, that's a double-edged sword, because I think we all expected some sort of cameo or something like that. But at the end of the day, it did not need it. I think that the story was very strong when it was about Wanda and Vision. Whenever it strayed from that, it totally lost the momentum it had going for it. But there's like certain episodes and certain moments in the show that are some of the most emotional Marvel content that we've gotten, I think. Like specifically when Wanda goes back in time with Vision, or with back in time with Agatha, and goes through like all those scenes. Yes, the series was fun and stuff, but at the end of the day, I think it was at its strongest when it was just Wanda and Vision, nothing else.
Yeah, Vincent, I agree with a lot of what you have to say. I'm really glad they didn't rely on cameos, because I think that's something that The Mandalorian kind of struggled from in the last season. But I think Wanda and Vision are the highlight of the show. And I was skeptical that Marvel would have been able to make me care about Wanda and Vision, but damn, they did.
Yeah. Nice.
Personally, I love all of the like sprinklings of the MCU that were in this project, right? Like we had so many little like moments that were obviously there to like give the fans just that extra like excitement level. But I think that I would say WandaVision hit its stride when it hit episode 4, when you got that reveal of what's going on in the sword base and what's really, at play here with this show, and what are the stakes, what's really going on. Essentially, it kind of taps you into the mystery a lot more, and that's what really intrigues you about it, is this mystery, right? I think towards the end of the show, they started relying too much on the mystery aspect, that it kind of like lost a little of its sizzle. But I think they still delivered with like a strong character arc for both Wanda and Vision, that you kind of felt like, damn, the show was perfect, as far as taking a character who lost, basically the person she loves twice. She saw him die, and now she's dealing with the grief. And the whole show is about her dealing with the grief. The whole show is about her dealing with this pain. Suddenly you're dragged into this whole world that takes you on a really awesome journey into what the MCU is going to be like. That's why I think, like, I was watching some clips earlier, and I was like, Agatha's a villain, yes. Some people feel like she under-delivered, right? They wanted more. But at the same time, it's like when you're focusing a show solely on one character like Wanda, her villain has to be the equivalency of who she is, right? And Agatha played that part. But as far as having the full characters come together, tell a great story, so many background actors became popular people online because people were just so invested in the story. And that to me shows you the power of what this show has, like, the capabilities of doing for people's career in the future. I don't have anything that I really dislike about the show, except the fact that we were speculating so much that we were way off. And then it's like, oh, okay, but that's my fault. That's not the show's creator's fault. That's my fault.
Sure.
So it's like, I take it out on myself, but I had fun doing it. So That's all you could ever ask for.
I think the highlight for me was, since it was so central on Wanda and Vision, you know, you really got to see these actors shine. Elizabeth Olsen, Paul Bettany, their acting, I think, during the 50s and 60s, and of course, as we got to modern times, was such a standout. You know, they really are now, I think, Emmy contenders, and people are really talking, hey, let's get some Emmy love for these guys, because they really brought it, you know, and I think they did good at adding the depth of who they are. And, you know, it's, of course, great job to them on adding the depth to the characters of Wanda and Vision. The eras, I think they got so perfectly. I think there was a lot of details that you were like, oh, wow, you know, even if you haven't really seen those shows from that era, you know, okay, that's a detail that they just got right. And I think they really handled the details well. It was a breath of fresh air for me to see something different. And as much as I hated the week-to-week wait, I think since it was a TV show, they have to have that build, and it has to progress, you know, through a slow burning story. I think it was well paced, because I always wanted more. You know, there was kind of ending each episode with a cliffhanger. It's like, you gotta wait till next week. But yeah, I think I agree with Luigi. The episode 4, it's like, cool, we finally get MCU stuff. Then it builds into a blend. You know, the first 3 were kind of like, what is this? You know, but yeah, the blend, the mix, the fresh air of the eras. It's like, cool, give me more of that with Marvel. You know, hopefully with more future projects where we see, you know, changing it up with genres and stuff. You know, so of course, WandaVision story too. It was like, finally we got more in depth that now add to older films like Age of Ultron. They make those films better, which I think is the best thing you could do, is making your older projects even more. And now everything will be up to par, and everything starts, you know, becoming better and adding more depth. But
can I ask how?
I think watching Age of Ultron, now that you hear those lines from them about the twins, especially with those characters and who they are, now you see it. You can visualize, oh wow, there's the backstory. There's who she is, and the pain and what they went through, why they hate Stark.
Just gives more context.
More context, yeah, I think.
Who would you say was your favorite character out of everybody we saw?
Jimmy Woo, no question.
Yeah, I think
I'd say Vision.
Dude, let me tell you, Paul Bettany absolutely knocks it out of the park as Vision, guys. Like,
yeah, he does.
Like, he goes from being signed on as a voice in Iron Man, right? Who knew he'd be actually portraying this character years down the line and nailing it? He's like, it's great. He's playing a robot, like an AI, but like yet like so much personality and character, and it's
so
great.
human,
Great.
Be all philosophical.
I think Vision's performance is better than Wanda's. I really do.
Wow.
Because I think it's a harder character to care about, and
Sure.
I think in making so many people care about Vision, right, who seems like such an insignificant character, it feels like more of a feat than causing people to care about the main protagonist.
They had a lot of really strong side characters, like even Monica. Like I was thinking about her just today.
She was fine.
Hear me out, because Monica in the first 3 episodes is playing the long con. We're introduced to the idea that she got sucked in, and then it's revealed that she's just another character reading a magazine or a newspaper. But then she gets to the point where she's standing next to Wanda, and Wanda tells her, like, I was a twin one. I had a brother named Pietro. Like, Monica.
My mother's name was Martha.
No, but like listen. Like Monica, she had that hero-esque like vibe. She was just like, I'm gonna risk it all.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
That to me is like a great side character. You know? Vision's great, but I think Monica was also she's a secondary protagonist in this show, and I think they do a good job with her.
I'm ready to do the round of things that I did not like in WandaVision.
I want to hear it all, and I want to hear it strong.
I'm prepared for the next hour.
Oh, sorry.
We're recording.
No. It's not hour. It's very short and concise in that it's one thought. The show does so good with Wanda and Vision that every single other character in this show is not good. And
I completely agree.
And here's the thing.
Agree.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
Monica is a great start to a character, and she's a great plot device in this film, because it's that sense of mystery.
You guys were just talking about Jimmy Woo like you love Jimmy Woo.
I actually didn't like Jimmy Woo in this at all.
I do like Jimmy Woo.
I think actually
flip-flopping.
I said it as a no. I said it as a meme, but in actuality, like going and remembering Jimmy Woo's in Ant-Man 2, and him just being a super fun character who literally made me laugh out loud multiple times. I mean, he's the comedy character, and they tried to make him a serious character. And he's just okay.
Here's my point. Guys.
Yeah.
Quicksilver, that's great. You introduce him.
Right.
That's super cool. That gets me excited. That gets me very excited as an X-Men film fan, because I think that there's so many X-Men movies that are better, not the new X-Men movies, not Apocalypse, but that are better than MCU movies because of like their politics in it and their storylines and stuff. It's so good. I cannot wait to see that in the MCU eventually, right? And so
No, they're gonna make them all funny.
having Quicksilver like teased in there and like, oh, hilarious. Let's make a penis joke about this character. Like, awesome, great, funny, hilarious. So we'll see what happens there. And then, I'm sure we'll get to have more of this. Hayward, the worst character in the entire show, sucked.
Hated him.
Hayward is horrible. Not only was it bad acting, there's nothing going there. Nothing at all.
There's no like
Could care less about him.
arguable motivation or anything. It's just big white military dude.
Yeah.
who, like,
Terrible.
hates people.
A couple more. Darcy, what the hell was she doing in this show? Besides trying to connect another MCU movie, dude. Like, what?
Yeah,
Like, that's cool.
what she was.
I'm excited that she's in it. I don't think she's a bad
It's
character
a
at all.
flex from
but
Marvel.
She
That's what
made
it was.
there's no reason for her to be in the show at all. And that's how I felt about Jimmy Woo also. It's cool that he
But
was
she
in it. I
traps
enjoyed
into the
seeing him.
frequency. She traps into the frequency that you see the show.
I guarantee in a week
what?
I'll forget she did that. Like a week,
Bro.
7 days
Yeah.
from now, I will forget she did that. And like
I
I'm
I
telling
did
you,
forget that she did that.
I'm telling you right now, the only things that will stick with me for the show is the Wanda and Vision moments. Everything else I will forget about until I watch it the next time, which is sad to say. It's not that I disliked it. I just I know
Out of
that
all
those
the
will be
things,
things I remember. Out of all the
for
things.
sure.
Well, the
Um,
great part about watching it a second time is Agatha did it at all.
Sure.
So it's like you can pay attention to the little details that is just like
Again, I still stand by Agatha's just okay, in my opinion. Like she's just
Also,
alright.
they ramped up that other blonde lady to be someone.
Oh, I
and
didn't like that. Dottie?
They totally-
What was that about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They totally
I don't
like dropped the ball. Like, I mean, they didn't have to make her anything, but they made it so you would anticipate
They kept
that she was
showing
something.
her. That was the
Yeah.
problem. They just
Okay.
kept showing like these little snippets of her, and you're like, "What is that about?"
Yeah.
Right.
Let me.
Yeah.
I'm almost done, and then we can
Go-
move on
sorry,
to the
man,
next
we keep-
person.
we
No,
keep
it's
putting
good.
you
It's
off.
good. No, it's fine. I like that. But like Monica, I think that Monica had a cool introduction in this show. I don't know if she's great in this show, but I like that she gets her powers through the hex. I thought that was a very
Right.
cool part. I wanted to see her use that powers and maybe have some sort of arc, but it felt like we just got like the beginning of an arc. And I really don't want her to be wasted in Captain Marvel 2 or something like that, like wherever they're gonna
Right.
put her. Because I think I like that actress and I think she does good in that role. There's potential there, but it was not used right in this to me. Satisfied, but like barely satisfied at the end of the day.
My main gripe with the entire thing is the pacing, or maybe not the pacing, but the initial thing that I thought was gonna not turn out. Which was, I know I'm gonna go through these episodes and it's gonna be 20 minutes of fluff just for like a 5-minute little,
Stinger, yeah.
little tease at the end. And we got that for the first 4 episodes.
Yeah. It depends on.
See,
how
I
you
can't
take
even
it.
tell you.
Depends on how
It just happened
go through it.
like
Yeah.
way too often for me. And I get like, I think they did the other things well, like matching the decades and stuff like that. That was cute. That
It's
was
cool.
fun. That was
Yeah.
fun. That was cool. But at the end of the day, like, it didn't make for good episodes, in my opinion. I liked seeing the fun like Vision stuff, but it wasn't enough for me to chew on from week to week.
Okay.
I wanted a little more depth out of that, and I think they took a little too long ramping up before they actually got to the meat of it.
I think for me, and I wasn't
Air your
even thinking
grievances.
about this, right? But Vincent brought it up. For personally, I love Devin Peters, but at the same time, I don't like that if he was meaningless, then it's like, why use him? I said this with the Shazam thing, right? If you either go all in or you go all out. It's like, I feel like they should have just given it to us because you were already doing it and you were playing a smart card. And then
Right.
you decided to like be stupid with it, like
Yeah.
the fold out was dumb, and I don't know. I can't speak for it. They might actually end up doing it. Maybe he's
Right.
hypnotized by something and he
Yeah.
thinks he's Ralph Boner, but who knows, right?
Yeah.
What I like about this show is that it actually lets it like breathe. Like you guys talk about, there's all these gaps and things, but I like to breathe in shows. I don't feel like you need to over context or overstimulate all the time, and it needs to be
Sure.
like just proper, setting in the world, have these characters live, and how do they interact with the mailman, or how do they see this beekeeper. It's just those little things they just add to it. I as far as gripes, it was really just the Pietro storyline, and like I wish they would have done more with that.
For me, when I heard lately, I don't know if you've checked out, the director recently said about subverting expectations, and he was really on like Iron Man 3 with the Mandarin. I think he said that was his favorite part of the whole movie, and I know a lot of people enjoy that. I personally was like, iffy about it, and so he said that the inspiration of that was like, oh, I have to make it funny, literally make it a dick joke, because literally that would be the stupidest thing ever. But he loved that, he wanted to do that. which I was very, wow, to hear that, even more upset, because it wasn't just, no, we didn't intend it accidentally happen that you guys put it together. It was, no, I wanted it to be dumb. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and the thing is, like, for Iron Man 3, it was kind of funny. Like, it was a little bit funny when that reveal.
It's funny, yeah.
And this reveal just sucked. I don't know. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Okay. So I think the fun part, about the show was the theorizing and getting into, like what could happen. And I think there were a lot of things that fans did kind of overhype. And I think it wasn't wrong for us to get mad about, like when it comes to the Pietro. That was one thing that was super clear. Then, of course, there are other things in the show where I think we kind of took to a whole nother level, like with Mephisto, when it was never really clearly stated at all that was just kind of something we put together. I expected Doctor Strange. I feel like there should have been a connection, but I know that there could have been a scheduling thing with COVID. They rearranged everything. The overall kind of bad taste in your mouth when the credits are rolling and you're like, that's it? Like, I shouldn't have felt like that. I should have been satisfied.
Definitely got
even
that,
though,
yeah.
Even though I was satisfied with the Wanda story, because this is about Wanda and Vision, but also it's kind of like, you wrote some of these things, you should have known that I would have been like, where is it, but who knows, we could be getting more in the future.
And hey, you said it earlier, who knows, maybe stuff in the future makes this show stronger because of things we learn later.
That's true.
I mean, we can go ahead and get into our closing thoughts, what you hope to see for the future of the MCU.
I had a great time watching it. I had a lot of fun week to week, like talking about it with people, watching it with you guys, like reacting to it. I think I had more fun doing that than actually watching the show itself. That's not to say that I didn't like the show, but like when more Marvel comes out and stuff like that happens, I love talking about it. I love all that stuff. It's super fun. But the things that I really, really enjoyed too, was like, I liked the style. I liked the idea that they have of the sitcom idea and stuff like that. Yes, maybe pacing that kind of messed, like pacing was a little up and down for sure. For the stuff that they did, like the 50s and 60s episodes and stuff, they nailed it. And that was tons. That's fun. Like regardless if that fills into the whole series as a whole, like those standalone two are fun. It's a cool idea and they stuck to it, and I think they nailed that.
Yeah.
My expectations are also pretty low for Falcon Winter Soldier. I'm expecting a fun time, and I probably will get a fun time. I don't know if I'm expecting the next mind-blowing Marvel thing or something like that, And so, hey, if my expectations are low, they're either going to be met or exceeded. And so like I'll continue that, because I feel like so many people got their hopes up for this show, and I didn't really get my hopes up because my expectations were low. I enjoyed it. So that's pretty much it.
I think what the thing that I'm looking forward to is more of these Disney Plus projects, because I think they're like comic book storylines that, you may not be getting the whole $300 million budget feature film in an IMAX theater, but you're getting like a $200 million kind of sub piece that still delivers on the vibes of Marvel. It may not have the CGI quality or even the story beats, let's say, but I think the experience of being a Marvel fan and seeing this stuff is still fun, and it feeds my want. I'm left satisfied because I get Marvel. I don't have to wait, but that's just me. I'm looking forward to seeing the future of the MCU expand on these storylines, and I want to see Falcon Winter Soldier. I mean, that's going to be a whole nother fun experience, speculating and talking and reacting. So overall, I cannot stress enough how satisfied I was, really. I'm going to say I was satisfied with their story and the experience I had with the show.
I'm definitely satisfied with the experience I had with WandaVision. Needless to say, I think that Marvel definitely has their foot in the door with their Disney Plus shows. And I think they're, with the experience and with the reception that they have with WandaVision, all the better chance for them to make improvements on some of those rougher edges, like pacing, and hopefully smooth that out with Falcon Winter Soldier.
I would say, in recap, what did we get from WandaVision? It says Pietro was alive.
We just pretty broken up about this.
WandaVision 8.4.
Oh, out of 10.
Out of 10?
Okay.
Generous.
Out of 1,000. Come on, Marvel, step it up.
What the heck?
No,
Oh my god.
Of course, out of 10.
Yeah,
Come
10.
on. I love WandaVision. If you love Wanda or Vision or just Marvel, you're gonna love this show. You're gonna be crazy about it if you've never seen it. As long as nobody spoiled it for you yet.
If you're watching this video, it's definitely spoiled for you. So there's that.
That's true. That's true.
We
Send
spoiled
it to a
everything.
friend.
Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to leave a like and comment down below what big thing you're looking forward to in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. We're going to be covering that show with the whole reaction series. Definitely looking forward to that. We thank you guys for all the support here at Strictly Casual, and we'll see you very soon in the next video here on the channel. Bye, everybody.
See you guys later.